From the WYLN studios in Hazleton and all over northeastern Pennsylvania, this is WYLN News.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Paula Dagnan. Some residents in Klein Township will be getting new addresses very soon. WYLN's Gary Perna has more on the changes.
For a number of years, residents in Klein Township have dealt with an addressing problem. The township had 2 James Streets, 2 Green Streets, and 1 street, South Kennedy Drive, that had 2 different names on many maps.
How they were established many years ago, I couldn't go ahead and comment on that. You would think, but again, back then it was more split up. It was more splinter villages there. Now we're one township. So
during Monday night's supervisors meeting, the board voted unanimously to approve the final reading of an ordinance to change the names of the streets for good.
And the issue has escalated with the duplicate street names. Like James Street, for example, there was actually 3 James Streets. So what we decided to do, after talking with residents, the United States Postal Service, and Emergency Services, is to rename some of them.
Westner said residents have been complaining about the problem for a number of years.
And it comes up every now and then. You'll hear from somebody, and then the issue goes away. The squeaky wheel getting the grease. So, but one of the things that I said is we got to, in the township, when we see these issues, we got to fix them because the can can't be kicked down the road. What happened within the last year alone, we had a shooting. We had 2 shootings. Okay, emergency services were going to the wrong village.
The renamed streets are a portion of South Kennedy Drive near the Clares Road that leads to a dead end. 2 sections of James Street, one in Spring Mountain Terrace and the other in McAdoo Heights, and Green Street in East McAdoo Heights.
There's Green Street, so that has been decided to be renamed to Middle Street. The other 3, which is the 2 James Streets, the one part of James Street which is connected to Snyder Avenue, that will be renamed Naomi Avenue, and that's named after the person that donated that. And then there's over by Maple Lane, which is about 3 blocks away from there, that portion of James Street, that disconnect, is going to be renamed Maple Lane and just an extension of that. So there'll be a 90-degree.
Have more on that story from Gary Perna in Klein Township later on. Supervisors in Butler Township, meanwhile, voted Tuesday night to borrow $4 million to build a new police station and municipal building. The new facility will be built on land the township bought in the Can-Do Corporate Center because they've outgrown the current building on Butler Drive. The bond, issued through PNC Capital Markets, will have an average interest rate of 3.12%. The supervisors will repay the money in 18 years at $300,000 a year. The board believes that they can make the payments without raising taxes. Supervisors hired Paul Lewis of WKL Architecture in Wilkes-Barre to design a 12,000-foot square building. The front entrance of the building will lead to township offices. Police will enter their new station from the back. The township also plans to spend about $400,000 constructing a garage for wastewater and highway department vehicles on some of the 88 acres at Freedom Park. Wilkes-Barre City Council may vote tomorrow on a long-term debt restructuring plan that's backed by Mayor Tony George. And if they do, a series of conditions proposed by one city council member could be included. Councilwoman Beth Gilbert voted no on the long-term debt restructuring plan last month. She wants to hold his administration accountable and at a work session Tuesday offered an ordinance attached to the plan. Among the items in the ordinance, she would like to see the city initiate a hiring freeze until it is financially responsible. Hiring is something, according to City Administrator Ted Wampole, that the city charter stipulates is up to the mayor. Gilbert also requests bi-weekly status reports on the state of the refinancing plan, again something which Wampole says would be included in the regular reports to council. The restructuring plan would add $37 million to the city's long-term debt. It would finance repairs to Solomon Creek flood wall and reduce the city's annual debt service payments over the next 10 years. The House State Government Committee approved State Representative Jerry Knowles' bill, which would prohibit any institution of higher education in Pennsylvania which deems itself a sanctuary campus from receiving state funding. House Bill 14, which would prohibit any funding, would be restored once the institution demonstrates compliance with the requirement of the law and provides proof the rule, order, or policy has been rescinded. A sanctuary campus exists when the school's administration adopts rules or orders to refuse to allow federal authorities on campus without a warrant and/or refuses to share information about undocumented students with federal agencies unless presented with some form of legal process. Knowles said, "This bill is to encourage colleges and universities to comply with existing federal immigration laws." He continued, "These institutions need to adhere to the rule of law, not pick and choose which laws they wish to follow. It's very simple," he said. "If they want state funding, follow the rule of law." That bill now heads to the floor for a vote. As WYLN told you yesterday, the Schuylkill Mall in Frackville will be closing for business. A meeting was held yesterday between the mall tenants and North Point Development. The stores were encouraged to leave the mall premises within the next 3 months. The Schuylkill Mall was opened back in 1980. Many shoppers say they're sad to see it go. It lost 2 anchor stores, Kmart and Sears, in 2015. After the former owner filed for bankruptcy in 2016, the mall was auctioned off to North Point Development, who took it over in January. The goal is to have all tenants out by September or October so that the mall can officially close by the end of the year. Coming up on WYLN News, students in Columbia County took part in a mock DUI right before prom. But first, as we head out to break, let's take a look at your 7-day forecast from the WYLN Weather Center. Remember, you can get all your weather information at WYLNTV.com. We'll be right back.
Whether you're a homeowner renovating your first kitchen or a professional contractor remodeling your 100th kitchen, we're here to work with you every step of the way. We feature Homecrest and Omega cabinets, bathrooms and entertainment cabinets, along with solid surface countertops for Mica and Wilson Art products. We offer affordable installation. All this and more at Morris Kitchens LLC. Appointments welcome. Call 570-825-6956.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
An all-too-real scene of the dangers of drinking and driving was played out at Berwick High School this afternoon. Our Julie Stefanovich was there and has the details.
Students from the Berwick High School SAD Club, along with emergency responders from throughout the area, hosted a mock DUI crash scenario on the school's parking lot. Students lined up around the accident scene to see what happens when people drink and drive. The presentation was organized by Heather Henry, librarian and SAD advisor.
Students have been told for years and years and years the consequences, what can happen if they drink and drive, but sometimes it takes a visual to get through, and that's what we try to do here. We try to provide the visual of what could happen if they make destructive decisions like drugs or alcohol before getting into a car.
With prom season upon us, the message is clear about the repercussions of driving irresponsibly, whether it be under the influence or distracted driving, such as texting behind the wheel.
Do this every other year, and only for juniors and seniors to watch, so that every student gets to see it one time throughout their 4 years. Statistically, there is a higher rate of accidents at that time of the year, especially for the seniors who they're finishing their senior year. They're excited, they're winding down, but even though they're winding down, they still have to keep in mind they're returning here on Monday, or at least we certainly hope so. So we want them to stay safe, enjoy themselves, but stay safe and make good decisions.
Berwick senior and SAD Club member Emily Dent played the dramatic role of a student who was involved in the accident on prom night and was pronounced dead at the scene.
Well, I think that the hardest part was to lay still the whole time, but overall the whole purpose of it was to explain how serious of an issue this is, why it's important to be responsible on prom night and not drink and drive. And you can really hurt a lot of people, not just the people in the accident, but the people that weren't in the accident, the bystanders that witnessed it, and your friends and family. It's a really serious problem, and I think that doing this really set the record straight, showed people what can happen, and really was a reality check.
School officials and parents want their teens to enjoy the prom and celebrate achieving the end of their high school careers, but they also want to see their kids coming home safely to look forward to their futures. In Berwick for WYLN News, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
Thank you, Julie. An event will be held this weekend to raise money for the restoration of the old Schwab School. The event is called Raise the Roof, and event organizers are hoping to raise money to start fixing up the old school.
It'll be at Urana Park in Weatherly. The only problem is if it rains, it will have to be indoors, which is fine. We have an indoor pavilion that we can use. There's going to be music. There's going to be games for kids, raffles, vendors. If the weather's nice, we'll be able to have a bounce house. If it's not nice, we might have to scratch that. But it's going to be a lot of fun for everybody. On Sunday, however, on Saturday, there's going to be a chili cook-off. So that's going to be a lot of fun for Saturday. On Sunday, we're going to have special Mother's Day events, such as crafts for children to do, Sing to Your Mother karaoke, provided by Rich Green. It's going to be a great time, so I hope everybody can come out. I am taking any kind of last-minute donations that I can possibly get. We have room for vendors if it's outside. It might be a little squinchy inside if we get some more vendors, but that's okay. We'll be happy to have everybody that we can. Volunteers always needed. If you need to, you can give me a call or go check out our website, weatherlyschwabschool.org, or call me at 570-436-4472.
And again, that event is this weekend, May 13th and 14th at Urana Park, 3rd Street in Weatherly. Coming up on Eckley's News Choice, a group of veterans in the Valley helped other vets in the area. Also in Community and You, Mountaintop getting ready for a big event. Don't go away.
Physical Therapy and Balance Centers. It's spelled different because we are different. Physical is unlike any therapy center you've been to before. If you're tired of living in pain, if you want to move better, overcome an injury or balance disorder, or you just want to improve your strength and conditioning, our highly skilled team of medical experts will help you get back to living the life you enjoy. New mentality, new body, new life. Get physical.
Are you looking to light up your business? Then you need to visit Shadler Yesco Distribution Incorporated. They're the premier electrical distributor in Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, Poconos, and Hazleton. Specializing in extensive electrical lighting, automation, and datacom inventory to meet your contractor, commercial, or industrial needs. Don't go with a national company. Go with an independent, locally owned company that cares. Shadler Yesco Distribution Incorporated. Visit them at SYDIST.com. Come experience the difference.
The Victoria story's a glorious story, the sweetest that's ever been told. They found they were handy at making fine candy for family and friends to behold. Word spread through the land that Victoria's candies would one day be leading the rest. Now that day is here, for the facts are quite clear that Victoria's candies are best.
Welcome to Community and You, and today, hope you're hungry. We're going to meet Michelle Riley, who is the president of the Mountaintop Rotary Club. And Michelle, whet their appetite. What do you have coming up?
Oh, we have coming up our annual Taste of the Mountain event, which is the event of the season, we like to call it. It's a huge attraction, and this is, again, the 7th time that we're doing it. But this is special because we're bringing it back to where it all started, in Glen Summit at the Casino Clubhouse.
Nice. Now, tell us a little bit about the event itself. You said this is the first time where's it been?
Well, we started it out at the casino in Glen Summit, and then it moved around a little bit. It was at Edgewood in the Pines for a couple years there, and we were trying to grow it, and we sort of outgrew the clubhouse, and we were up to 260 people coming, and it just got a little bit too big for the event, so we wanted to bring it small, limited tickets again. 170 people will be the max, with several area restaurants. To ask them to bring food for 300 people is a little bit hard. So it's coming back to where it all began, and it was a beautiful, beautiful place to have it. Everyone loves Glen Summit. It's very historic, and it's just such a pretty atmosphere up there.
Now, tell us a little bit about the event itself. I mentioned whet your appetite, and you mentioned restaurants. So what are people going to experience when they come?
So when you come in, you are going to have samples of food from several area restaurants. There'll be some wine, some beer. We're going to have an outside tent so you can be inside or outside. But you just walk around and you get little samples. There'll even be coffee and desserts as well. So you get a little bit of everything, and people just seem to love it.
When you're talking about this, of course, now everybody's getting closer and closer to their televisions, and they're saying, well, tell us, Michelle, when is this going to be?
So this takes place on Sunday, May 21st from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. We do have tickets available at the Triangle Pharmacy, also Eventbrite. If you go to tasteofthemountain.com, then you can get them online as well. We all have tickets here within the club members. So if you know a Rotary Club member or you want to reach out to us, we certainly do have the tickets available as well. But they're going to sell out quick, so you need to do this week.
And let's talk a little bit about the Mountaintop Rotary Club. Other than this spectacular event, what other things do you have going on?
We constantly have things going on. Next Saturday, we'll be doing a road cleanup, which we do in conjunction with our Interact Club. The students from the high school come and help us out. We also have our train event. This will be the 3rd time we're taking a steam train engine from Mountaintop into Jim Thorpe. Ooh. That'll be in September, so September 9th to be exact. Keep an eye out for that to get the tickets. We have a 5K event coming up in the fall. This will be our 3rd annual 5K event. We're actually going to be doing that. All the proceeds will be going to a young student here in our area that has cancer. But all the proceeds from everything that we do come back to the community 100%. We support the fire departments and the library and the food bank and so many other needs. Just incredible. So when you come to our events, you are supporting the community 100%.
And not only that, but it really sounds like you're having a great time. What if somebody would like to get involved in the Mountaintop Rotary? How would they go about doing that?
Well, we do invite guests. We meet every Wednesday morning at 7:30 a.m. It's a little early, I realize that. 7:30 a.m. Chalet right here on Route 309. And again, that's every week on Wednesday morning. It is a commitment. You do have to try to make the weekly meetings. But we'd love to have you as our guests and see what it's all about. Rotary is worldwide, actually. I just got back from our conference, our district conference, which was at Pocono Manor for the whole weekend, where our club was awarded a membership trophy. It's about 4 feet high. I wish I had it with me, and a plaque. So that was a great honor to receive that while we were at the conference, and we're just growing and growing and loving helping the community.
Now, Michelle, before we let you go, let's really whet their appetites. Which are some of the restaurants that are taking part?
Well, we have Kavanaugh's Grill, we have King's Pizza, we have Luigi's, Frogtown Grill, Brass Buckle. These are some of the drums places that come up to spend the time with us as well. And we have
Come up to 437 and visit Sitco's
Absolutely.
Because they're going to be here as well.
The first time that they'll be with us.
That
So
is
smart.
awesome. So if anybody, once again, would like to get tickets, when and where is the event and how do they get them?
The event will be taking place at the Glen Summit Casino. Tickets available at the Triangle Pharmacy in Mountaintop, which is right there at the Triangle Light. You can go to tasteofthemountain.com, get them off of Eventbrite, or see any one of our club members, certainly anytime.
Michelle Riley, thank you. And thanks to the folks at Benchmark Mortgage for letting us borrow their studio for this afternoon while we got the opportunity to get the information on that. And stay tuned. We'll always have more of what's happening on the community and you.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
Whether you're a homeowner renovating your first kitchen or a professional contractor remodeling your 100th kitchen, we're here to work with you every step of the way. We feature Homecrest and Omega cabinets, bathrooms and entertainment cabinets, along with solid surface countertops for Mica and Wilson Art products. We offer affordable installation. All this and more at Morris Kitchens LLC. Appointments welcome. Call 570-825-6956.
Some residents in Klein Township will be getting new addresses very soon. WYLN's Gary Perna has more on the changes.
For a number of years, residents in Klein Township have dealt with an addressing problem. The township had 2 James Streets, 2 Green Streets, and 1 street, South Kennedy Drive, that had 2 different names on many maps.
How they were established many years ago, I couldn't go ahead and comment on that. You would think, but again, back then it was more split up. It was more splinter villages there. Now we're one township. So
during Monday night's supervisors meeting, the board voted unanimously to approve the final reading of an ordinance to change the names of the streets for good.
And the issue has escalated with the duplicate street names. Like James Street, for example, there was actually 3 James Streets. So what we decided to do after talking with residents, the United States Postal Service, and Emergency Services, is to rename some of them.
Westner said residents have been complaining about the problem for a number of years.
And it comes up every now and then. You'll hear from somebody, and then the issue goes away. The squeaky wheel getting the grease. So, but one of the things that I said is we got to, in the township, when we see these issues, we got to fix them because the can can't be kicked down the road. What happened within the last year alone, we had a shooting. We had 2 shootings, okay? Emergency services were going to the wrong village.
The renamed streets are a portion of South Kennedy Drive near the Clares Road that leads to a dead end. 2 sections of James Street, one in Spring Mountain Terrace and the other in McAdoo Heights, and Green Street in East McAdoo Heights.
There's Green Street, so that has been decided to be renamed to Middle Street. The other 3, which is the 2 James Streets, the one part of James Street which is connected to Snyder Avenue, that will be renamed Naomi Avenue, and that's named after the person that donated that. And then there's over by Maple Lane, which is about 3 blocks away from there, that portion of James Street, that disconnect, is going to be renamed Maple Lane and just an extension of that. So there'd be a 90-degree angle on that. So basically it'd be like 2 blocks long. And the other one is South Kennedy Drive, and that's going to revert back to South Tamaqua.
Westner said residents will be getting information in the mail from the U.S. Postal Service about the changes.
I did go ahead and send all the addresses down to Harrisburg, United States Postal Service. They are going to do a mass change for everyone. Doesn't have to go down to their local post office. Like normally, if you move, you'll go down there and you would either do online or you'll fill out a form. Here, the Postal Service is going to do that because it's going to be a mass change. And then the only thing that the resident may want to go ahead and do here is, of course, you got to do your diligence to follow up. Let your friends, family know that there's going to be an address change, and then also, your bills, stuff like that.
Supervisor said they sent a letter to Schuylkill County 911 informing them of the changes. Those changes will go into effect starting July 1st.
Now that the James Street issue, the South Kennedy Drive issue, and the Green Street issue has been taken care of here in Klein Township, supervisors are hoping that everything will go normally for residents here and that they don't have to worry about their mail or packages being misplaced. Or the biggest thing is to make sure emergency responders get to those residents at those homes instead of winding up somewhere else. In Klein Township, for WYLN News, I'm Gary Perna.
Thank you, Gary. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next here on WYLN News.
The Victoria story's a glorious story, the sweetest that's ever been told. They found they were handy
at making fine candy
for family and friends to behold. Word spread through the land
that Victoria's candies
would one day be leading the rest.
Now that day is here,
for the facts are quite clear that Victoria's candies are best.
Are you looking to light up your business? Then you need to visit Shadler Yesco Distribution Incorporated. They're the premier electrical distributor in Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, Poconos, and Hazleton. Specializing in extensive electrical lighting, automation, and datacom inventory to meet your contractor, commercial, or industrial needs. Don't go with a national company. Go with an independent, locally owned company that cares. Shadler Yesco Distribution Incorporated. Visit them at SYDIST.com. Come experience the difference.
It's the Memorial Day sales event at Berger Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Route 93 Hazel Township.
Lease the Jeep Patriot 4-wheel drive for only $159 a month. Lease the all-new Chrysler Pacifica for only $299 a month. Get 25% off any in-stock Chrysler 200s. Look for the benefits of the Berger Advantage: lifetime safety inspections, lifetime tire rotations, 5 years of oil changes, and more.
At Berger Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Route 93 Hazel Township.
Berger family dealerships, drive with experience.